Good day, everyone. Tim from Timber Visions here. So I've been running this Range Road conveyor for now 6 months or so, right? And put quite a bit of firewood through it or over it, and it's been really helpful for filling up the big bulk bags of firewood and just streamlining things so I don't have to throw the firewood in. It can just push off the end. But there are a few things that are annoying about this conveyor that I wanted to share with people. I do want to say right now, overall, I'm very happy with this purchase. For the price and everything, it has really met the need that I had, right? But if you're shopping for one of these, um, nothing's perfect, right? No conveyor is perfect. So I want to touch on a few of the things that I don't like about this. So stick with me, we'll talk about these. Okay, so one of the first things is uh, to control the how quickly the conveyor lifts and lowers because it runs on a hydraulic hydraulic ram there. Um, you have this inline uh, metering valve, I guess is what you'd call it. So the more you tighten that, the slower that goes. So I mean, you pretty much have to close that thing. And I lost the set screw on it already. It vibrated out or whatever. I have to get another one the right size and Loctite it in there. Um, I don't know why they couldn't just put something on there that's like solid to adjust that rather than having a set screw that can vibrate out. But it is what it is. So that's kind of an annoyance. And it is touchy raising and lowering this thing um, until you get that set correctly. And then it still kind of vibrates out of position. So that's number one. That's a pain. Number two is, and I've seen other people make videos talking about the same thing. I wish that there was an extended trough at the end here, because there's a lot of times when I'll push firewood off of here, it'll hit and bounce off to the side. I would say a dozen pieces happen every time that I run this conveyor. That'll bounce off to the side, and then I have to reach down, pick them up, put them back on the conveyor. Not a big deal, but um, it's just a step that should be avoidable. So if there's just some extension wings on here, which I think I'm gonna figure out something to put on here, UHMW or some sheet metal, and just use these existing bolt holes and just build some wings that come up, I don't know, 1.5 feet or so above this, and then out to about here, something like that. But it'd be nice if that came uh, stock. You know, they have a little bit of a flare there at the end, but I wish it was a little bit bigger. Okay, so this next one doesn't really apply to a new conveyor of this style or this model. Actually, they don't even make this model anymore. They upgraded it so it has a chain conveyor, the single chain down the middle with paddles on it, and it's all metal. So I can see why they did that, and that was a good move. The dealer I bought this one from still had one of these in stock, and I wanted it quick, so I ordered this. But I do like this belt um, overall, but this is your seam, and if your tracking's off at all, you can kind of see that these edges are curled up. It'll catch down here as it's coming around. It'll rub up against here and start messing up your splice, and also messing up your belt paddles and stuff. So tracking is very important if you have the belt style. Like if you have a chain style, there isn't really any tracking to it. It's got one center chain that just runs up the middle, and then there's paddles off for that. So there is a conversion kit. So when this belt wears out, I will probably convert to the chain style, which I believe is the only kind that you can get it anymore. So kind of a moot point, but if you're looking for somebody to have one already, that is the belt style. Something to keep in mind, okay? Still like the belt, you know, it carries everything up really nice. It's nice and grippy. It's I like this conveyor, you know, just a few little things. All right, the next thing is this uh hydraulic tank. It's very small. So I've had it, you know, it's got a nice little sight glass there so you can make sure your level's right. But I've had this heat up enough that hydraulic fluid was expanding and actually started coming out the top here. And this kind of got bent on shipping. You know, it looks like it's like the threads are off or whatever, but it actually the cap got bent during shipping, but it still closes and opens and everything. But I've had this on a warmer day when I was running this for, I don't know, a couple hours or so. Um, this actually, the fluid expanded enough that it was pushing out the top. So, and then um, when when hydraulic fluid gets that hot, it tends to get a little foamy, and my ram wouldn't lift anymore because it was so hot. It'd be nice to have a little bit larger tank so that um, it has time to cool off, you know, on the way back before it gets cycled through again. The larger your tank is, the less chance you have of overheating. If it was a little bit bigger tank, that'd be nice. I do like how easy this thing was to set up though. You know, they have quick connects on all the fittings of the hoses and stuff. Um, it's pretty slick. I do like that. Um, you know, you do have some that are screwed in, but then on the other end there's a quick connect. So basically you can unhook all of these from the main uh, set of valves here, and you know, if you had to replace or something, it's pretty quick and easy. So there are some really good things and thought out things. Okay, I wish there was a way to lock this conveyor in the up position that it's in. So basically this basically this runs on a hydraulic cylinder to lift and lower with this boom that's up here on, it's got rollers on the underside of the conveyor like this. So I mean it works, but if you get any creep on this hydraulic cylinder, well then your conveyor height comes down. So I don't really see it so much like while I'm running, but between runs I always have to raise this back up so that I can clear my bags again. So I wish that there was a way to lock the cylinder or lock up here where it touches the conveyor. And I've been thinking about, you know, maybe putting a C-clamp or something up here so that it can't start sliding back down. Would be fairly easy, I think. Something like that. I don't know. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments. It'd be nice to have a way to lock this thing in the up position so that between runs, I don't have to worry about it coming down and resting on the bag or anything like that. But then it'd be easy to take back off if I want to lower it down. Because when the wind blows, This belt really flops in the wind. I mean, this'll, the return side, it'll, the wind can really, especially in the wintertime or cooler weather, I notice this thing will just get to bouncing like crazy. So when I'm not using it, I like to bring it down and rest it on this bar here so that it isn't flopping around in the wind so much. I don't know if it would lift and move this conveyor because it is pretty heavy, but I really don't want to take the chance. So I tried to get that thing battened down before any major wind. You know, if we're getting in the 40 mile an hour plus, you know, I try to get that taken care of beforehand. These adjusters for your tracking work, but they're not the easiest things to run. I don't know. I think just a freaking bolt head, you know, a nut bolt. I understand they're trying to go for toolless there, but if you have one of these things, you probably have a set of wrenches and a ratchet. So you know, it'd just be easier that way instead of messing with that little T bracket thing. So this does fold in half. The top half here, if you unbuckle these, it'll flip down. I think for transport that might be an advantage, but I don't really use it. But makes it easier for them to ship it, I would imagine. And I've never used this feature yet, but if I ever get another bag stand made, I might look at doing it. But you can turn these wheels 90 degrees so it will roll in like an arc from your splitter. Then you can have multiple bag stands set up or IBC totes, whatever, and just keep going, keep splitting. Just push it over, lock the wheels, and put blocks under it and keep going. But this little motor has been doing good. It fairly fuel efficient. Yeah, it's like it's kind of a Honda knockoff, I think. I don't know what kind it actually is. It just says 179cc gasoline engine. But yeah, starts right up. You choke it, first pull, she's going. Turn the choke off, work her up on the RPMs, and you're good to go. Good little motor. Yeah, and then you got these a jack on each side here. It would be nice if you, well, I can understand if you're on level. It's nice to have adjustment on both sides. But yeah, they do flip out of the way. You know, it's one of those style. Pull a pin, flip it out of the way. If you were going underneath all that slash and stuff, there is a coupler. So this can be pulled around. Not on the highway because it's got these little wheels, but for like moving around a woodlot with the tractor, works very well. And on the gravel, I can pretty much, me and Storm can just roll this around by hand. So works pretty good for that. So overall, I would say I'm pretty happy with this conveyor. It's worked pretty good for me. Just a few things that I might change or would suggest keeping in mind if you're in the market for a conveyor and you're looking at one of these. But yeah, for the price, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, it's like half the price of a lot of the big name conveyors out there, or you know, they make wood splitters and conveyors. But yeah, I mean, it's Chinese made. You know, so keep that in mind too. Range Road is a Canadian company, but this is made in China. So, and the price reflects that, you know. We'll see long term how it holds up. So far, I've been happy with it after about 6 months or so. And like I said, I'm going to make a few modifications, try to figure out a way to lock this in an up position, um, and put some wings down here at the bottom side to keep those pieces of firewood from bouncing out when I'm pushing off the end of the splitter. But yeah, for my uses, it's been pretty good. If you were a huge producer, I would say go something heavier duty. But you know, I'm not into the hundreds of cords a year category. You know, this is do this on my days off, and just to support my firewood business. And yeah, so you know, you got to know where you're at and where you're heading. I don't I don't have the land to be bigger, and I don't have the time to be bigger. So this fits my needs. If you're a homeowner, to split your own wood, this would be great. And if you're small like me that focuses more on bundle wood, this has been great for me. So that's just my thoughts on it. Trying to be totally honest and transparent. You know, I'm not sponsored by this company. I did all my own research. I bought this with my own money. So, um, you know, I'm being as honest as I can be about my experiences with this. So, like I said, if you're a huge producer doing hundreds or thousands of cord a year, don't buy this. You're way beyond this. But if you're a homeowner or a little producer like I am, um, then yeah, give it a good look. And like I said, they've switched to the chain style drag going up, and I think that's better. I don't know for sure because I don't have one, but when this belt wears out, I'm gonna do the conversion, and basically just have to change the sprockets on both sides. Instead of having a drum, there will be a sprocket to run that chain. But yeah, running at idle and just running it runs good. Nice and slow. It's not winging firewood off the end. You could crank it up and throw the firewood if that's what you want to do. Um, but I'm just dropping it into these firewood bags, and at idle, it pretty much goes exactly the speed I need it to. So I want to thank everybody for stopping in, watching this video. Hopefully it was useful for what you're looking for if you search for this. Um, yeah, I mean, thanks for watching. And until next time, be safe, brothers and sisters.